Hello everyone, another week has passed and it's time again to be checking on your outline submissions. So I want to remind you the process you should be doing. For people who have not yet completed outline step 2, you need to do that or you will not be able to go into the week 8 folder here and clicking on video presentations be able to submit outline step 3. Now, if you have submitted outline step 3, which you should have done by yesterday, now is the time to go back and check for my response. Because with some of your outlines, I may have said, hey, there were some things you needed to fix. Here are some corrections, but here's what I need you to do. And I may have only given you 50%, and so you'll need to recorrect and resubmit so that I can give you feedback a second time. So what do? You click on your outline step 3 link, and I'm just going to walk through and show you that what it will look like when you do submit before I respond. Okay, so let's pretend that this was my speech. I'm a sample student here. I did a speech on the topic of cheerleading and different things you do in cheerleading, the different aspects of it. So here's my outline. And I can see that I've submitted it because it's showing sample outline step 3.2 document. It's showing on the screen my outline. And right now, you'll notice there's no grade here. And that it does say that the attempt was late because it was just made today. Okay, but that's okay because I could still look at it. But what you're going to see is what's next. So let me show you that. Now, however, if when you submit an outline, for those people who have not done this yet, if you submit and you see what shows up here is not your outline or not the one with the corrections you made, or that it's not saved as a .docx, you can click on Start New and reattach a new assignment. Okay, because you want to be attaching the right kind of document and you want to make sure it's the document you want me to see. Okay, so for people who did submit your outline as of yesterday, I have corrected it and responded to it. So what you want to do again is you want to come into the week 8 folder, into the informative speech presentation folder, click on the outline step 3 submission link to view my feedback. So if I click on this now, I'm going to wait for it. This is what you would see. You will either see a grade of 100%, a grade of 50%, or a grade of 0. 100% means that my feedback says, good job, you did great on the outline, that maybe I made some corrections to the outline that I would have put in red, see what I typed in red, and download this attachment that I'm giving you so that you can now use this to do your speech presentation. Because if I give you corrections and then you do your speech presentation, but you don't use the corrections that I gave you, it's defeating the purpose of me correcting your outline and giving you support so that you do it right. And so this is the outline, if I was this student doing this speech, that I would want to use to now create my presentation. Now, if I give you a 50%, it's because something wasn't completed. And I will give you instructions about what to complete, but I will also tell you, resubmit this so that I can look at it before you go creating your presentation. If it was a 0, it might be because you did the wrong attachment or it wasn't completed at all, something like that. So it might be just that you really have to work on the introduction and the conclusion. And then I'm going to tell you, get it done, get it submitted. Okay, let's say that you're a student that only got 50%. This is the kind of message you're going to get that would say, I made some corrections, see what I typed in red, but maybe see what's highlighted that you didn't complete that now I need you to complete. And I actually posted the sample here so you could see that if we download the sample outline step 3.0, which is the speech my corrected version, it would show you this. This wouldn't appear. So my corrected version doesn't appear here. What would appear is your original, but what you need to get is the sample. So you would click on this, you would download it, and then you would save it and you would open it. You'd make corrections, so save it wherever you're saving your work, and then open it up, make your corrections, and then when you come back here, you'll click on the Start New button. Now, if you're not using Google Chrome or you're using Safari, if you have an Apple computer, you're not going to see this Start New button. So I've been trying to tell people all along, do not use Safari. Google Chrome is the best version of web browsers to use when you're using e-learning. I've also heard that some people are having trouble who are using Microsoft Edge web browser. I don't use that myself. I always use Google Chrome. So if you don't have Google Chrome, download it to your computer and use that. So then you would click Start New, and then it would bring you back to this page where now you get to browse and make an attachment of your new outline once you've made the corrections that I request that you do. So that's the procedure for getting your outlines followed through, submitted, back and forth. I know it's going to be some back and forth stuff. You're going to need to do this maybe a couple of times for some people, but if you have 100, hey, you're ready to start producing your VoiceThread. Okay, so once you've gone back to the week 8 folder, checked your outline, gotten my corrections, downloaded outline step 3, and you're ready to create now your VoiceThread, and you've already watched the instructional video, you can move on to week 9. Now you're seeing my view, so you're seeing all these weeks here, but you'll notice most of them aren't available. But the week 9 folder is available to you. The reason I'm showing you this is because I want you to see what it looks like on my end when I actually go into view and correct your outline, correct your VoiceThreads. So you'll click on this video presentation 4 folder, and when you do, and you're going to have, I guess I told you extra time, you'll have until Wednesday midnight. So I'm actually giving you a couple extra days because I know that Wednesday is a holiday, it's Veterans Day, and assuming some of you may not have to work on that day, might give you some extra time to actually be at home and work on these. That might help people. But anyway, because I'm going to look at these then on Thursday. So when I come in here and I click on this link, which is the same link you click on to create and submit yours, when I launch into this, what I will see is anybody who's submitted, and I will see who has not submitted. Okay, so right now, let's wait for it to load. Right now, you'll see that I don't have any students who submitted this yet, and I shouldn't, because you really haven't had that opportunity yet to create it and know how to do it without that VoiceThread that I had to get loaded. And everybody is listed right now in the not submitted. But once you do submit your VoiceThreads, then your name will appear up here along with a link to your VoiceThread. I'll be able to click on it, I will be able to watch it, and then I will be able to give you a grade. So that's that process. Now if I go back to this folder, I just want to again remind you what you have to follow through with next week. As soon as you create your VoiceThread, even if you do it in the next couple of days and you get it in early, that's fine too. I don't mind. Better than pushing it to last minute. You can then download the informative VoiceThread self-reflection report and submit that here. And people, do this right away. I've had a few people submitting VoiceThread presentations and then not submitting their self-reflection report. So you're not going to get a grade for this assignment if you're not doing it, and you should do it as soon as you complete your VoiceThread. And then what you'll get from me is a response with a copy of the eval that I do of your presentation. So again, this is another folder that after presentations are done, after I've graded, you're going to want to come back because you're going to want to view my response to your reflection and get my evaluation form. That is if you want to see what I had to say about your presentation. I will not be responding to your VoiceThread presentations with my comments. I want to keep that private between you and I. But you all will be doing peer evaluations. I don't want you to try and get into the folder to look at other people's presentations until I give you the go-ahead, because I'm going to give you specific instructions about how I want you to do peer evaluations. Okay, because we are technically in week 9, I am showing you the weekly schedule just to remind you all of what is coming up between week 9 and week 10. I've actually opened week 10 too, because I know some of you have been pretty good about liking to stay ahead of the game and getting work done when you have your free time. So it's always nice if I can do that for you, and I have. So I'm just going to go over it, right? This week, you should be getting this presentation done. I'm actually giving you until the 11th to get this presentation and your self-reflection report in. So that is the only change on this document that I haven't made to this, but that I've told you about. Okay, in the meantime, then you can go on and you can start working on the chapter assignment, the writing exercise, presentation number 5, getting the instructions for presentation number 5 assignment. Your writing exercise 3 is how you will brainstorm for your persuasive topic. So you'll still want to try and get those done as well by the due date, which is supposed to be November 10th, which is the start of the next week. And I don't think you'll have a problem getting those things done. There's not, they're not difficult to do. In fact, this week I went really easy with you on the homework assignments leading up to the next assignment, only because I know you're still working on this. So you're kind of got two things going, getting started with new material, but also completing this last speech. And then the week 10 next week, after you submit, and I really want to change the due date on peer feedback. I maybe should just move this into week 11 to make sure that we get through all of next week before people do peer feedback. But do not think that peer feedback will be due on November 10th, especially because I'm changing this date to the 11th. So I'm going to change the due date for peer feedback, and maybe I'll make it the 16th like all of these other assignments. But then these chapter assignments and writing exercise and presentation materials folder, again, is all related to what your next speech will be, so that you're already starting to work on material that will get you that assignment started. And then by the end of that week, as a combination of completing writing exercise 3 and 4, you're going to have a clear perspective on how to write outline step 1. That's what those writing exercises do. They help you come up with a topic, help you come up with what you believe about your topic and what you're going to do in terms of a specific purpose. And so your next speech is going to be much like the last speech, is that your first outline submission will be to report to me what your topic will be. All right. And when you start watching some of these other instructional videos, it's going to make it very clear as to what this assignment is about. So I don't need to go into that detail now. Besides, it's mostly today is me making sure that you know what needs to get done, and how quickly you need to be getting this done so you can get on to this next stuff. Because the weeks that follow is all about developing your persuasive speech, which leads up to the end of the semester. And these weeks will come fairly quickly as we go through this. And some weeks you won't have homework assignment other than to just work on developing the speech outline, submitting it, and then doing the final voiced presentation. All right. Okay, there's one last thing I want to mention about the weekly folders. Because the last instructional video that you were supposed to watch didn't show up, and it was a broken link and I had to repair it, I went in and I checked all the links that are now available in your week 9 and 10 folder that you will see is listed on the weekly schedule about voice threads that you'll need to watch. And those are specific to the persuasive speech. However, I am going to let you know that if you get ahead of the game on week 10, I actually hope to get this done maybe tonight. But in the week, oh gosh, where is it now? There's one voice thread. I think it's in the presentation 5 link. Let me just open it here. Yeah, this instructional video right here. is not going to work yet. And there's something wrong with it. I'm going to recreate it and do it over. Again, I hope to do it tonight and have it working, but I just want to let you know that. So if anybody gets ahead of the game and it's not working, you can email me again like you did before and let me know. But I think I should have it done before people really start working on this stuff next week anyway. Okay, so just keep in touch with me. Let me know if things aren't working right. And I do apologize if I don't always get back to your emails right away. It's been a little tough for me because I've been teaching 7 courses this semester between BCC, Bridgewater, and Stonehill. And it's a lot. I mean, for those of you who know that are taking 5 courses, how much it is to take 5 courses, and I'm teaching 7. And also because there's certain days that I have to do work for them and certain days that I usually give your attention. So I do have to confess, I haven't been real good about being on my email every day like I normally would. So again, I apologize for that. So please be patient with me too as we work through this. And I usually try and get back within a couple of days, but also, I try not to work on weekends. I really need the weekends off because I'm spending so much time during the week on the computer that I need that time. I need that mental break from being at the computer. And I'm sure you all agree. So enjoy. I hope to see your presentations and look forward to seeing them. You got some great topics out there, people.